Welcome back to the show. If you guys are listening to this podcast, when this drops, I will be 30 years old. And so today I wanted to talk about the things that I've learned, right? I'm not going to be doing 30 things. I'm going to keep it very concise. I'm probably going to do 10, but I wrote down some of the things that I've learned up to this point in my life and I wanted to share it and hopefully it will help some of you guys. So number one on my list of things that I've learned before 30. Let's see. So number one was nobody gets out clean. Here's what I mean by that. Everybody is going to go through hard times. The only variable is how long you stay there. It doesn't matter who you are, rich, poor, broke, fat, out of shape, in shape. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to have hard, dark, deep demons they're going to have to fight. And it's going to hit every single family, every single person. And what I've realized is it's okay to have those feelings for 1, 2, 3, maybe even a week. But past that is when you start to self-sabotage yourself. You start to create more problems for yourself. You start to get out of shape. You start to eat crappy. You start to, drink your sorrows away or feel bad for yourself. And it spirals the other way. And you don't want to do that. But the distinction is that everybody deals with it. There's been some hard stretches in my, up to this point in my life where I wasn't functioning for a while. I was down. I was getting kicked while I was down, so to speak. And when you get back up, you don't have to feel good about it, but you do have to get up. There's people relying on you. There's people that are watching you, and you realize that if you keep going down the path you're on, you're only going to hurt everybody around you even further. So that's number one. You don't get to choose whether it comes. You do get to choose how long it stays. And I remind myself that when I'm going through a hard, dark, time in my life. Number two, choose what you want in life or life will choose for you. Everybody has a dream. Everybody has something that they aspire to be. Everybody has a version, a 2.0 version that they imagine in themselves. Go for that now, or life will pick for you, meaning you won't get to choose. You won't get to be that person. The neutral people don't get to become who they want to become. They haven't decided. And if you don't decide, the world will decide for you. So go after it now. Go after it now. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Go after it. The whole thing is about at least going for it, and on that path, maybe you'll find a different path. Maybe you'll find something that you'd rather do. But if you don't choose anything, you get stuck. I remember football or sales at one point in my life. I chose what I wanted. I chose what my life wanted to be at that point, and boom, you make it happen. I'm choosing today who I want to become, who I want to be now, right? And that can change day to day, week to week, month to month. But if you don't choose anything, life gets long, life gets boring, life gets stale because you're not choosing the life that you truly want. Number three, work like it's on you, let go like it's not. Letting go is one of the biggest things I've learned this last year, but I also understand that you do control your effort. You do control the work that you put into your goals, your dreams. You don't necessarily control the timing or how it works out or the ups and downs of the trials that you're going to go through on your way to your goals, but you do control. You got to have, what's the thing that I heard? Aggressive patience. So it's bipolar, right? It's aggressive patience. You work as hard as you can, but you're also patient. You let go of this situation. You leave it up to God in the timing of things. I always talk about gripping the bat too hard. If you grip it too hard, you're not going to hit a home run. You're going to strike out every single time, right? There is some faith that has to be in place in life. Nobody has the exact formula. Nobody has the exact steps to take to for sure get there, because everybody's journey is going to be different. There's been There's been a couple times in my life where I tried to force the outcome, force the outcome, force the outcome, force the outcome. And as you guys can tell from my story, it backfired on me. So grip it tight enough to swing, loose enough to hit it. Number 4, hard and rewarding are usually at the same door. Parenting taught me this, but applies to everything. So how it applies with parenting, being a father has been the hardest thing. 2 kids has been one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And it's also the most rewarding. Now, people hear that and they're like, how can it be both, Quinn? Like that sounds so crazy. Trust me, the most rewarding things in life are usually the hardest things as well to get or to accomplish, right? And it's not an irony. I believe that's the rule, right? When you look at it, having a fit body, having, 6-pack abs, it's totally worth it, but it's putting in, a lot of work to get there and to stay there, right? I think most people quit not because it's too hard, but because they thought it was supposed to be easier. I think it's okay to expect things to be somewhat hard and pray that things are going to go perfect. But you don't want it to break you thinking that it's not going to be difficult. When you finally let go and realize that, things aren't going to be perfect, things aren't going to go necessarily the way you always want them to go, it helps because you start to be able to act and you're not trying to control everybody in every situation. When it gets hard, you're probably close, not lost. That's another line that I want you guys to remember. Number 5, how you treat yourself is the ceiling. Self-love is everything. People say treat people the way you want to be treated. I disagree. If you treat yourself crappy, do not treat other people crappy. Treat yourself with immaculate perfection. Give yourself the best. Give yourself everything. And then treat people the same exact way. Right? But do not treat yourself the way you want to, I don't know what the saying is, but treat people better, right, than they ever expected. That is a standard because you treat yourself better than anybody, right? You treat yourself with the most immaculate best, you give yourself the best. The people you admire most are the ones with the most generosity, most patience, and most room for other people. Let's see, what else did I write? You can't pour out of an empty cup, especially the one you keep kicking over. We're the ones that stop ourselves. We're the ones that are holding ourselves back. And self-love is a big, big reason why. If you don't have self-love, you're not going to be able to treat people with the respect they deserve. Number 6, everybody is drowning in themselves. What I mean by this is we're all thinking about ourselves. We all have, and that's not, I'm not going to say that's not a bad thing. We all have to worry about our situation and ourselves as well. But on that journey, if you're able to fully, help yourself, but also look and care about other people and not always care just about yourself, it's going to open up a whole nother world and people really, really will feel that and care about that. I found that in sales. The rep who genuinely cares, that's the one that's going to get, the success that they want in life every time. It's not a technique. It's what people can feel and people can tell. Being interested beats being interesting every single time. Number 7, this is a good one. Don't lose confidence in yourself. It's the last thing that you can afford to sell. You can lose money, you can lose jobs, you can lose this, you can lose that, you can fail, but do not lose your confidence. The one thing that reminds me not to lose my confidence is I am a son of God. Your daughter, son of God. That is something that nobody can take away from you. So you can never lose your confidence, no matter how bad you're losing in this moment, no matter how crappy things are going. You cannot lose confidence in yourself because you are someone special. And also, if you don't believe that, then you're not giving credit to God. And that is what you don't want to do. Now, it's very hard in the lowest points of your life, but I always say broke is a number, being fat is just a number on the scale or a number in the bank account, but feeling worthless is a decision, and don't let yourself make that decision. Number 8, your body is the platform, not a trophy. You know, it's it's the thing that I think provides you a lot of the gateways to other areas of your life. And it's the limiter as well, a lot of times in life. It's the machine that keeps everything running. Nothing's really going to work out for you if your body is in shambles or you're injured or you don't feel good or you're, we can all relate to seeing somebody go through that physical torment. We live in a physical world and we need to protect our physical body. That's why people that are older always say they would trade every dollar to have a fit, healthy body again, or to be in their 20s again, or their, 30s, whatever. The way I look at 30 is I'm not old. This is the youngest I'll ever be. Number 9, money in generous hands is the way. But you also have to be very concise with when and how you do that. Be abundant, be giving, don't be tight, but take care of your finances. Just like you take care of yourself, take care of your body, yourself, take care of your finances the same way. Do not go in debt, or don't do things just because you feel like you're being giving or abundant or whatever the case may be. The only way you can be abundant is when you have really taken care of your financial situation. Now, I have been in situations, up to this point in my life where I have been in debt. I have been in a hole. I have been at that place where it sucks you dry. It kills your confidence. It kills your vibe. It kills everything because of some of the decisions that I made to get me to that place. And I think that, you hear a lot of people say like money isn't everything, or, money doesn't buy happiness. I hear you, but on the same token, money does create a lot of habits, and money is one of the most important things in this world to get what you want, to be abundant, to give to other people. And financial success is very important in your life. And that's the only thing that makes generosity possible. And so I remind myself that often. It's the only thing that you can. I think it's just like being in shape. It's very important. It's not everything, but it's very important. Just like taking care of your family, just like finances, just like money. It's something that I would be. I'm losing my words for this, but really, what I'm trying to say is money is very, very important. Keep it that way. Take care of your money. Invest in yourself. Invest in your future. Save, save, save. Don't just save to save. Save for a reason, save for a purpose, save for investment, save for a certain situation. But it's very important to take care of that for you, for your family. And if you want to be generous, then you have to take care of yourself. Number 10, there is no destination. Stop waiting to arrive. You won't. How many years did I have to learn this in my 20s? Year after year after year, I'm going to arrive. I'm going to have the money. I'm going to have the body. I'm going to get there one day. And then I'll be able to rest. And then I'll be able to chill. And then I'll be able to hang out on the beach and just, retire and just have, tens of millions of dollars in the bank account. No, we never arrive at a destination. You get there, you feel it for a few days, and then you move to the next destination. You move to the next goal. I think that's very important to do. I think that no matter how rich you are, no matter how fit you are, you got to move to the next goal. You got to keep pushing yourself. It doesn't matter that you have more money or you have this or that. The second you stop, growing, the second you stop becoming the best version, you go 20 floors back down. And it sounds daunting at times. I totally get it. But coming up to 30, it's realizing that there is no finish line. There is no deadline. Every person you're comparing yourself is still climbing too. Never forget that. They're still climbing too. They're still working on the stuff that they aren't good at. And, that leads me to another point. Never judge other people. Everybody's on this climb together. Now, everybody can be at different stages or different parts in their life, but everyone's going to go through certain things. And just because you may be better at one area than someone else, you may suck at this other area that they're very good at. You can learn from everyone and treat everyone with that dignity and also just no judgment. Like, we've all gone through hard times. We've all gone through stuff that sucks. I'm not going to judge someone just because they're going through a hard time or they're not in shape right now or they don't have the money, because I've been out of shape. I've been in debt. I've been overweight. I've been in a hole where I want to give up, right? So I'm never going to judge people if they're in that state. I don't care if they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s. If they're in that place, at this stage of their life, I'm never going to judge them. And, that's what I think you learn is there's no reason to judge. Perfect isn't coming. Better is available today, though. You should chase better. You should chase the pursuit of excellence is always there. Striving for greatness. I think that's what LeBron says. I love that slogan, striving for greatness, because you're always striving. You're never there. So you may as well just keep striving. You will never arrive, and that's not the bad, like, that's not bad news. That's good news. So those are the 10 things that I've learned up to this point. When this comes out, I'll be 30 years old. I think the biggest thing is it's not about the goal. It's not about the thing. It's about who you had to become to be to get the thing. Yes, it's about the house, the boat, the thing. It's not about that. It's about who you have to become to get there. It's not about the 6-pack abs. It's about who you have to become to get there and stay there, right? Being a dad, it's about who you have to be, right, to be a dad. And write down, what I would say is, like I said at the beginning, go after what you want. Don't let the world bog you down. It's okay to change. It's okay to be different next year, next month, next week. Be you today and be better today. That's all I've got.